everyone, welcome to MedTech World, and in this opportunity I'm with Alejandro, Head of Europe and Partner at Decoto. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thanks for the invitation.
So let's talk about the project. What is Decoto?
So Decoto is basically a network company or a facilitator that helps other companies leave their main region. So if you are at a certain point with your company that you want to leave outside, right? Let's say an Austrian company has developed the Austrian market and sees opportunities in Japan or Korea or the US, they mostly get a recommendation from the local government to come to our network so we can help them prepare their journey to the next country. If they want to enter, let's say it's a MedTech company and they want to enter the US, they need a lot of things like FDA regulatory, they need a reimbursement pass, they need good distributors, and this can be for a founder that basically should focus on his invention and on his product and on his team. It can be a very big stress factor to look from the outside into a market and don't know if he can trust the people. There might be cultural differences, there might be differences in how you work and how you communicate, right? So we can take a lot of this pain off your shoulders if you enter our network because all our partners are vetted. I think what is very important for Decoto, we consider ourselves, I always say we are Buddhist businessmen, if that makes sense. So all our partners are, I would say, carry themselves with a certain emotional intelligence, so there is easy to build trust. I think if I sum it up, we take fear away and build trust over time.
Where did the project start?
Well, it was Sean Yoshikawa's idea. He's been working on this for the last 3 years. He sold his, I think it was an insurance company, and then he saw this gap, especially from Japan. There is a lot of communication issues, there is a language barrier, and there is a huge cultural barrier, how you behave yourself. If you imagine a Japanese businessman and maybe a businessman from Silicon Valley, San Francisco, there's a big difference. And Sean saw this difference and thought we can help them because we are networkers, right? And we should make out of our network a solid company and a solid infrastructure to help them build bridges across the oceans, right? So that's how it started. It was his invention, and he took me in, I think, 1.5 years ago, and we really connected and vibed together, and then we just grew the company, and then Europe became a part, and then Latin America became a part. So yeah, that's basically the journey.
You mentioned before when we were talking off the record about the human part of a startup, of an entrepreneur, of a CEO. So yes, you help connecting and helping the success of the company, but as well you take in consideration the human part. So let's talk about it.
So yeah, I think a lot of companies can more or less offer services, right? You can be an FDA regulatory specialist, you can be a lawyer, you can be a numbers guy. So there's a lot of specialists out there, but in the end, it should be a match with people. When I got my first company bankrupt, and even in a positive way, when I exited my first company, both of the times, the thing that I hated the most was the anxiety towards other people. Of course, as an entrepreneur, you struggle with fear, you struggle with anxiety. It's just normal. It should be this way. It means that you're still alive, right? That you're not being a psychopath. Yeah. But if I'm in business with people and they seem to be very friendly and we shake hands and agree on some deals, and then you are not sure, right? You can't sleep at night because you don't know, can I trust this human? So, and I see that this is a huge pain point, especially with people that don't have the social skills, right? A lot of scientists, a lot of engineers, they lack a little bit the networking skills, the social skills. They can be a little bit awkward sometimes, right? And they need support in finding the right humans, right? So I would say we are good at reading hearts, if that makes sense. So I can feel people out and see, okay, we're good, and then we can talk on a personal level and see if we can become business friends. It might all sound naive, but if you have a business friend that you can trust, you can go so far together. You can have so much success because it has a different dynamic. I don't have to check in everything you make. I don't have to supervise or surveil, and it takes so much stuff out of my table because I can just focus on my business, and I know you will take the phone if I call you and not leave me hanging, not ghost me, and nothing like this. And it's the same we're building at the moment, Decoto Capital, and it's the same with the investors' relations towards the startups they invest in or the scale-ups they invest in. You need to have this kind of trust and mutual way of communication and working, so then everything can flourish. And Decoto, the slogan is, together be more than the sum of our parts, right? And undercover slogan is just be a decent human being, right? In the end, we shouldn't take ourselves so serious. We are a little bit more developed apes, and we run around with this big ego, and it makes things difficult. But we can share our success together and grow together because we're so small, and if we want to reach another level, together it's easier, right?
Indeed. You've been present in different regions already. Today we are in Dubai, so let's talk about the GCC. How do you see it? How do you read it? What's the opportunity that you see in the region as well?
That's a very good question. It's my first time in Dubai on the Arab region, so first of all, I'm very impressed by the sheer magnitude of what's happening and the pace and the energy, and I just came back from JP Morgan week in San Francisco, then going to Vienna and then here, so the contrast between San Francisco and Dubai couldn't be bigger, right? It's a totally different vibe and energy. I still need to find a little bit more experience here to be able to understand how it's going. But I think I made an Instagram reel yesterday just to get stuff out of my head, and I just said that here I feel there is less gatekeeping. So if you're nobody, you can still meet somebody and get a chance if you're motivated, if you're hungry, if you're respectful, and you are appreciative of this culture here. If you don't come like Western mentality, I would say like cowboy energy, like I'm the man, I want to do business. And a lot of people, I think, look from the outside here and think, oh, it's easy money, right? Money is never easy. If you're lucky, but then you don't deserve it, so that's a different thing. But here I think people love to be respectful and they're a little bit humble about it. And I think this is a big chance for certain people that like to enter this culture and work at this level. And I think the pace is really impressive here, how everything is going, developing fast. Meetings are very easy to make, and you can get to solutions faster. And last but not least, I really have to put an emphasis on this gatekeeping in Germany and in Austria especially, and in other countries a little bit. The people are a little bit hesitant for introductions. They're a little bit more conservative about everything they do, right? And here I feel like, oh no, I can introduce you to him and to him, no problem. I don't know you, but you seem to be legit, so let's just go for it. So there is less fear about risk and more openness towards the opportunity.
So now let's use the opportunity of MedTech World platforms and talk to our community. What are you looking in the GCC? What would be helpful for Decoto?
Well, helpful for Decoto, what we are looking, if you're trying to expand to other markets outside of the Arab region, outside of Dubai, if you want to come to Austria, I can really recommend Austria as a hidden champion inside of Europe, right? Austria has this amazing quality of life and this amazing potential for startups. So this is something that I really can recommend. As well as Japan and Korea, there is a little bit hindrances because you don't know the culture, so just come to us. We can introduce you to a lot of decent people that it's easy to work with. And when we look at here, so I'm just looking for connections to bring, I would say, new technology and new development to this area. I think this would be one of the messages. And on the other side, because it's always two sides, find investors that are willing to invest in new technology and give startup a chance, and are willing maybe also to invest outside of Dubai, because always international investment are a little bit stressful, yes, for the investor as well. So we are building ways to make it as easy and safe for the investor in cooperations with the local governments to build an infrastructure that they know that their investment is as safe as possible from a legal side, and we make investment more easy. So I think this is the both sides. We are looking for partners that are interested in the new technology and bringing it to the area, and at the same time funding European-backed companies, because in Europe there is a liquidity gap, I would say, but not a development gap. So we have a lot of great minds, creative people, good products that can really make a difference, solid marketing strategy and solid market access strategy. But to access another market, you need the funding, you know, and that's the gap we try to address here, right?
Thank you very much, Alejandro, and hopefully we can see you in one of our shows.
Thanks so much. It was a pleasure, and I see you guys at the next event at GCC end of February, right? Yes. I'm really looking forward. Thanks, Dylan, for the invitation.
See you on the 23rd and 24th February at MedTech World Dubai. Thank you very much.